What if your Playwright test scripts were generated automatically? Meet Playwright Test Agent Generator. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Vision. And before proceeding further, I am considering that you have already installed all the prerequisites, which are Node, VS Code, and GitHub Copilot extension. Apart from that, I am also considering that you have also installed Playwright. Also, you have added Playwright Test Agent into your Playwright project. If you are not aware about how to do so, for that I have already created one video, which is this one, where I have explained how to set up Playwright Test Agent and also how to use Playwright Test Agent Planner. If you have not watched this video, I would highly recommend you to watch this video first. I have already added this video into the playlist. I will provide link of this video into the description, or you can click onto this I button at top right corner to access this particular video. In this video only we saw that how we can add Playwright Test Agent into our Playwright project. For that, first we will have to install the Playwright project. After that, we need to use this particular command to add Playwright Test Agent into our project. And once all the Playwright Test Agent files are added, you just simply need to give the prompt in the plain English language. Now let's proceed further with our current topic, which is Playwright Test Agents Generator. This definition we already saw, that Playwright comes with 3 Playwright Test Agents out of the box, which are Planner, Generator, and Healer. These agents can be used independently, sequentially, or as the chain calls in the Agentic Loop. Using them sequentially will produce test coverage for your product. So previously, as we independently used Playwright Test Agent Planner, this time we will use Playwright Test Agent Generator, where it would be using the previously generated test plan by the Playwright Test Agent Planner. So as we are going to talk about this generator, so what is generator? Generator agent uses the Markdown plan to produce executable Playwright tests. So this Markdown plan is the test plan which we generated using the planner. It verifies selectors and assertions live as it performs the scenarios. And these are the inputs which is required by the generator. First one is the Markdown test plan, which we generated using the planner. We can provide the Markdown test plan in the context of the generator. This is how the generator knows where to get the test plan from. Alternatively, you can mention the file name in the prompt. So any one of the way you can use. I prefer to use this context way, where we would be using the generated test plan in the context of the generator. And here is the output which will get generated. So we would be getting a test suite under tests folder. Generated tests may include initial errors that can be healed automatically by the healer agent. And now let's see how we can provide the prompt. So you just need to simply give the prompt, which is generate the Playwright test script for the scenario, and here you need to mention the scenario for which you want to generate the Playwright test script. So these are the scenario name which I have taken from the generated test plan. So let me first show you the test plan which we generated previously. So this is the test plan which got generated, right? Source demo -login-test-plan.md. This we generated in the previous video. And that's why I am recommending you to watch that video first. So here we have got the application overview. Apart from that, we are having multiple test scenarios and sub-scenarios. From here, you can pick any of the scenario or sub-scenario for which you want to generate your Playwright test script. For now in the prompt, I have taken this first scenario, which is standard user login, which is this one. You just need to simply give the name. You need not to provide all the steps and expected results. Automatically, as we are going to provide this particular file as the context, so automatically it would be able to read these steps and expected results. Apart from that, we have also given this third scenario, which is this one, where we are going to verify logged out user cannot access the system. Apart from that, you can provide multiple scenarios name here, or you can just tell that generate the Playwright test script for the whole test plan. So it's totally up to you. For now, I'm just taking these 2 examples only. So here into the first test scenario, we are just verifying that we are going to log in with the correct username and password, and we should be able to log in successfully. And the next scenario which I've given is for the logged out user, where we are going to provide the username as the logged out user and the correct password, where we are going to get this particular message onto the login page only. All these scenarios are related to this sourcedemo.com. And before providing the prompt, let me go through this generator-chatmode.md file. So this file got generated once we added all the Playwright test agent files into our Playwright project. Let me open this particular file and let me go through this particular file quickly. If you want to get more details, you can simply read that particular file. It is very simple. You would be able to get that what are exact details which have been provided inside this generator.chatmode.md. We have not generated it, right? We have just added this Playwright test agents, right? With that, we have got these files, which are under .github folder, and under that we have this chat modes folder. So here for this generator-chatmode.md, we have the description that use this agent when you need to create automated browser tests using Playwright. So we are going to generate our Playwright test script, right? And these are the tools which will get used by the generator. So these search, file search, text search, list directory, read files are the inbuilt tools. You can see these tools by clicking onto this configure tools, and here under the built-in tools, you would be able to see this search, and inside it, all these tools like file search, list directory, read files, and text search tool is there. Similarly, we have this Playwright Test Agent MCP server tool, which are browser drag, browser evaluate, browser file upload, right? Like this, there are multiple tools which will get used by the generator. So these are the tools which are used to perform the specific actions. Apart from that, there are some tools which are very specific to the generator, like this generator read log, generator setup page, generator write test, right? And after that, here it is written that you are a Playwright test generator, an expert in the browser automation and end-to-end testing. Your specialty is creating robust, reliable Playwright tests that accurately simulate user interaction and validate application behavior. And here are some points for each test you generate. You generate means this Playwright test generator generates. Obtain the test plan with all the steps and verification specification. Run the generator setup page tool to set up page for the scenario. So this is the tool we just saw, right? Generator setup page. Then for each setup and verification in the scenario, do the following. Use Playwright tool to manually execute it in the real time. Use the step description as the intent for each Playwright tool call. Retrieve generator log via generator read log, which is also one of the tool, which is this one. Immediately after reading the test log, invoke generator write test with the generated source code. This generator write test is again this tool, which will be get used by the generator. Then file should contain single test. File name should be this one. Test must be placed in the describe matching the top level test plan item. The title must match the scenario name. Includes a comment with the step text before each step execution. Do not duplicate comments if the step requires multiple actions. Always use best practices from the log when generating tests. So these are some points. You can go through these points. You would be able to understand them easily, right? These are just written into the plain language. And here is the example which has been provided. So for following plan, this plan we are going to provide into the description, which is this plan, right? This is just an example. We are going to use this particular test plan.md file. Then after that, here the information related to the seed has been provided. If you are using any fixture, so you can use this seed. But for now, we are going to keep it simple. For now, we are not going to use any custom fixture, so that it would be easy for you to understand that how this generator is going to work. Now in the example, it has provided that add valid to do. This is just an example. It is related to some to do application, right? Here the step is given. And then here the scenarios for this .md file is given. This is just an example that it has provided that our scenario name is going to look like this into this test plan.md file. Here we would be having steps, expected results, right? As I have already shown you. Now following file is generated. So this is our test script file which should get generated, and it should look like this. It would be having a describe block. Inside it, we would be having a test block with a title and anonymous function with the script. And this is just the example that how you can provide the prompt. Here they have given the example to use the localhost. For now, we are going to use this sourcedemo.com. If you are already having access of your development project, you can run your localhost and you can generate test scripts as per your localhost also, right? It is not necessary that you should be having a proper environment to use these Playwright test agents, right? You can simply use localhost also to use the Playwright test agents. I've just given a brief about this particular file. If you want to get in-depth knowledge, you can go through each and every line one by one for this generator-chatmode.md file. Now let's provide the prompt. For that, you need to open this GitHub Copilot extension, right? You can click onto this if it is not already open. Here, click onto the new chat if any old chat is open. And here first, as I told, we need to add the context. And what would be the context? So context would be this sourcedemo-login-test-plan.md. You can simply drag and drop this particular file to here this text area. And now you would be able to see the same file as the context here. Apart from that, we need to select this generator from this first drop down, which is this one. And here For the model, we can simply select the auto, where automatically our model will get selected. If you are having a specific preference, you can select the desired model. Now let's provide our prompt here. Let me copy it. You can provide prompt as per your requirement, as per your site, right? And for which particular test scenario you want to generate the test script, right? So it's totally up to you. I've just given a simple prompt. You need not to provide more instructions, right? That how you want to generate your test script file. All these instructions have been provided inside this generator-chatmode.md. Now let me copy it and let's paste it here into this text area. And now once we click onto the send, so at the end we are going to get one new test script file, which will get generated inside this tests folder. Now let's click onto the send. See here our context testplan.md file is also appearing. And now here this GitHub Copilot extension has started working on to given instruction. Here let's quickly go through this response which got generated till now. So I will help you to generate Playwright test for the standard user login and logged out user scenario for the test plan. I will generate these tests one by one. Let's start with setting up and generating the tests. First, let's generate a standard user login test, which was our first scenario, right? This one. And here, as you can see, as the input, it is providing key as the plan and its value is related to this particular test scenario. See, standard user login, test the login functionality with valid standard user credentials. And here, if you will see, there are all the steps like navigate to this particular site, enter username, enter password, and click on to the login button has been provided. And at the end, we are going to verify that user is restricted to the inventory page, verify products are displayed correctly, where it has taken details from this expected result to verify the successful login, right? So for now, it is taking this particular scenario into the consideration. Now let's click on to the allow. Here I'm clicking onto this always allow. If you want to change these permissions, you can click onto the edit, right? Now it has opened the browser. Now again, it will ask for the permission. So previously, it has used this setup generator page, which is related to this particular tool, generator setup page. Now it is going to simply type text into username field, right? Under input, you can see all the details that where exactly it is going to enter the specific value. Here, I will click onto this allow always. Now it will enter the username and similarly, it should be able to enter the password because we have clicked onto the always allow. Now it is asking for the permission to click onto the login button. As here you can see. So here also we will click onto this always allow. And now our login should be successful and we are able to see this login page with all the product details. Now again, here it is going to use this Playwright MCP server tool, which is for verifying the text. Again, let's click onto the always allow. Allow in this session or allow in this workspace. Now it is going to verify the list visible, where it is going to verify products are displayed correctly. Now again, click onto this always allow. And now it is going to use this particular tool, which is retrieve test log. So whatever the actions which Playwright MCP server has performed, now it is going to first retrieve all the logs, where it is going to use this particular tool, which is generator_read_log tool. Here also, let's click on to this always allow. Now, after reading all the test logs, it is going to use the next tool, which is write test, where it is going to run this particular tool, which is generator_write_test. Here you can see details related to the input, where the key is file name and its value is tests, then standard user login.spec.ts. So this is the test script file which is going to get generated, right? And here you can see the details related to the code, right? You can go through this complete input object. So now let's click onto this always allow. And now it should be able to generate our test script file with all the code. Now it is running setup generator page. And see, here we can see the details. So now this is happening for the second scenario which we have given, right? Where it is entering the logged out user password and then it clicked onto the login button and we are able to see this particular message. For now, I've given all the permission during the first test script generation, right? I've clicked on to always allow. So that's why it has not asked for any permission and automatically it used all the required tools to generate this second test script file, which is this logged out user login.spec.ts. And now our both the test script files with the required code got generated. So here what happened, let's just quickly have a look. So here first it used this generator setup page tool, which is used for set up the page for the test, right? And then it opened the URL, it performed all the actions, right, which were required. For now, we have used the login scenario just for an example. For you, there can be different scenario for which you want to generate your test script file. And after performing all the actions onto the browser, and after doing all the verifications, it has used this tool, which is generator read log, this one. And this tool is used to retrieve the performed test log. So whatever the actions which have been performed, it is going to read all the logs there. And then it has used this third tool, which is generator write test, which is used to write the generated test to the test files, right? And after that, it performed the same steps for the logged out user. And our two test script files got generated. It has created two test script files because into our generator-chatmode.md, somewhere I've read that particular point, right? Where it has mentioned that it need to generate separate test script file for the separate scenario. See here, it is mentioned that file should contain a single test. So for first test, we got one test script file. For the second test, we got the second test script file. Let me open these files quickly. So first one is this standard-user-login.spec.ts, which got generated inside this tests folder. You can simply mouse over on it and you would be able to see the file location. See, under the tests folder, these two files got generated. And here into this first test script file, we are having the import statement for the test and expect. And then we have this describe block with the title standard user login. And then we are having this test block with the title standard user login happy path. This is our scenario name. And then we have this anonymous function where the code is written. So here, see, first we are navigating to this particular site, and then we are entering the username, entering the correct password, then clicking onto the login button. And after that, we are doing the verification, right? So these are the expected results. That this product's tag should be displayed, and this inventory item count should be 6, and inventory item name should be visible, right? So it has performed all the actions as well as all the verifications. And similarly, let's have a look at the second test script file, which is related to this logged out user login. Here again, we are having the import statement, describe block, test block with the title as scenario name, and then anonymous function, where again it is navigating to this sourcedemo.com, entering this logged out username, then password, then clicking onto the login button. And here it is validating with the help of this getByText method that this particular text should be visible. And we should still be on to this particular site only, which is www.sourcedemo.com. We should not land onto the product page. And guys, like this, you can provide multiple scenarios for which you want to generate your Playwright test script. Or simply, you can provide the complete testplan.md, and for that, you can generate test scripts in one go. And now let me quickly run these tests which got generated. So let's first execute our first test, which is inside this standard user login.spec.ts file. Let's go to this testing, and here let's click onto this run. Now it should open our browser. See here, it entered username, password, and now it logged in successfully. Let's go back. And see, here we are able to see one failure where this particular assertion is getting failed. And here, there can be the case that it is genuine failure, or there can be the second case that our test script file is written incorrectly by this Playwright Test Agent generator, right? So for such scenario, we are going to use Playwright Test Agent Healer, right? That we are going to see that how we can use that into our next video. For now, let me execute our second test script file which got generated, which is this logged out user login.spec.ts. This one, right? Now here, let me click onto the run. Again, let me close this browser for now. And here, click onto the run. See, it entered logged out username and the password. And once it clicked onto the login button, it is getting this particular message. And this time, our test got passed. So our one test got passed successfully, and second test is having some issue. And we are going to resolve this particular issue by using the Playwright Test Agent's Healer. So for that, you'll have to wait till the next video. And guys, if you are finding this playlist helpful, let me know into the comments below. And feel free to share your suggestions. I would love to hear your thoughts. And now I will conclude this video here. But before we wrap up, let me give you a quick recap. So here we saw that generator agents uses the Markdown test plan to produce executable Playwright tests. It verifies selectors and assertions live as it performs the scenarios. And for the input, we need to give this Markdown test plan which got generated by the planner. This planner we can provide as the context or as the file name. And as the output, we are going to get this whole test suite under tests folder. And see here, one note is there that generated tests may include initial errors that can be healed automatically by the healer agent. And as I told, we are going to see the magic of this Playwright Test Agent's healer into the next video. And this is the prompt which we provided that generate a Playwright test script for the scenarios. And these are two scenarios which we have given. You can provide n number of scenarios or the complete test plan.md file. And then we saw that inside this generator-chatmode.md, which got generated after adding this Playwright Test Agents into our project. Here you can see the description that it is going to generate automated browser tests. These are the tools which it is going to use. And here it is having more prompt details that how your test scripts should be, right? What should be the name, how it need to generate the tests, and many more details. You can go through this particular file for more details. And then you simply need to provide the prompt, and it will use these tools to set up the page, to read the logs, to write the tests, and to perform all the browser actions. All these tools you would be able to see once you will click onto this configure tools. And here, if you will go to this MCP server playwright-tests, all the tools are visible here, which is going to get used by the generator. So see, generator write test, generator setup page, generator read logs, and apart from that, all the tools required for the browser automation. Some of these unchecked tools are related to the planner, and some of them can be related to the healer, right? About that, we will see into the next video. And like this, you can try to provide different prompt as per your generated test plan for your testing website, and you can see the magic. And now that's it from my end. You can click onto this first card to go to the next video. You can click onto the second card to access the whole automation using AI and MCP servers playlist. And stay tuned for my upcoming videos. If you have any comments, questions, or doubts, you can let me know into the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.